our Premier League insider. That is David Ornstein, who joins us once again. David, we've got to speak about West Ham, of course, ahead of the match coming up this afternoon. The situation is dire. There's no question about it, even more so, arguably, after the 2-0 defeat at home on Monday. What do you think has gotten them into this situation where they're likely going to be in a relegation scrap?
Cara, I'll start by referring you to a headline in The Times here in the UK today that says West Ham are sleepwalking into a crisis. That's how stark it is when you look at their position in the table, 19th, 1 win in 8, a goal difference of -12, no home win in 9, dating back to February. Statistically, the worst or among the worst teams defensively and in attack in certain metrics. A lack of leaders, not utilising the likes of Paqueta and Bowen as they should be, underwhelming signings too. When you look at the Graham Potter, even the Lopetegui eras, they were fairly disastrous, underlined by a lot of muddled thinking around recruitment and the recruitment work itself. They had a sporting director from Germany in Tim Steiten, spent a huge amount of money. He then left. With Potter came Kyle McCauley as head of recruitment, and they bought yet more players that haven't worked so far. Names like Hermansen, the goalkeeper from Leicester, Fulkrug, Kilman at great expense, Todibo nowhere near the level he was renowned for. And Callum Wilson barely played at all when he was signed in the summer just gone. Nuno Espirito Santo himself, I find this very interesting. He's working with club staff. We think he's going to be joined by a goalkeeping coach, but the rest of his staff are still at Nottingham Forest. January, that transfer window is going to be led, I'm told, by David Sullivan, the chairman, alongside Nuno Espirito Santo, tapping into West Ham's existing recruitment staff. They are interviewing for a new head of recruitment, but it doesn't sound like there's anything imminent on that front. I'm told by sources at the club that they're looking to bring in a few new players. A forward would surely be on the agenda, but not Ivan Toney. Other players linked with them, the likes of Kobbie Mainoo and Joshua Zirkzee, both from Manchester United. But I think there's a pretty remote chance. We don't even know if they'll be leaving Old Trafford. They're going to make decisions on these big recruitment targets in mid-December, once Nuno has had a bit of time to settle in. The fans are furious, of course. They're protesting. They're unhappy with the ownership. They have a fan advisory board meeting on Thursday that could get quite tasty. And the ownership situation is complicated because many of the fans want David Sullivan and Karen Brady to go. Sullivan holds a 39% stake. Daniel Kretinsky, the Czech billionaire, 27%. So that is a majority shareholding. The big question is over the late David Gold's shareholding of 25% that is now held by his descendants. What will happen with that? They're also expecting to announce big financial losses for the last season. So it's not a good time at West Ham, but they'll be hoping to turn a corner starting tonight.
Yeah, Nuno has a lot on his hands. Well, at the other end of the table, things are obviously looking pretty good for Arsenal right now as league leaders. And the talent coming out of their academy, well, that continues to impress. What can you tell us then about their future?
Yeah, I broke the news yesterday, Cara, that Max Dowman has agreed a scholarship with the club. He's their 15-year-old sensation that has come through the academy. At the age he is now, you can't move on to professional terms. So this agreement ties him down for a couple of years. And then when he turns 17 on the 31st of December 2026, the expectation is that he will move to a full professional contract, which will keep him at Arsenal for the long term, which is great news for them, especially because so many clubs around world football would have jumped at the chance of taking him. And I think he could have, on the long term, earned more lucrative packages elsewhere. But he comes from a family of Arsenal supporters. The negotiations were led by his father, and he only wanted to be with Arsenal. And that will come as a significant boost off the back of fellow homegrown academy players like Miles Lewis-Skelly and Ethan Nwaneri signing long-term contracts themselves. And even at more senior level with Saliba, Gabriel, Trossard having his contract amended, David Raya too. The big one they're working on is Bukayo Saka. We have no news on that yet. He expires in the summer of 27, so that is massively important. Timber as well is another one they'll be hoping to renew. January recruitment, I wouldn't expect them to do much, if anything, barring significant injuries, of course. Let's see if anybody heads out of the club. Gabriel Jesus is coming back to fitness. Will they want him to go out and get some minutes elsewhere, take some salary off the wage bill? Maybe some bigger exits on the horizon, maybe next summer. Let's see on that front. They've still got the likes of Odegaard, Havertz and Madueke to come back into the team, despite how strong they're looking now. There's been change off the field as well. Tim Lewis departing as Executive Vice Chair, Richard Garlick being promoted to Chief Executive, newly reconstructed board with members of KSE, the ownership coming on from the States. Also Ben Winston, the film producer, big Arsenal fan, taking a place on the board too. It's really being led by Josh Kroenke. Many people think that he's growing in prominence, but I think that has been the case for many years now. He's steering the ship. They want to redevelop the Emirates Stadium at some point, so there are plans for that too. And Mikel Arteta's contract expires in 2027, so that's something they'll be keeping an eye on as well, because he is pivotal to all of this too. It's looking quite good at the Emirates Stadium, but they'll hope to kick on again on Sunday against Crystal Palace.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.